चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 54th verse. Yadacharyah paravruto gruhamedhiya karmasu vayashairbalakaiस्तत्र sopahuta कृतक्षणौ यदाचार्यः परावृत्तः गृहमेधीयकर्मसु वयसैर्बालकैस्तत्र सोपहूतः कृतक्षणैः. Prabhu, you can recite once.
यदाचार्यः परावृत्तः गृहमेधीयकर्मसु वयसैर्बालकैस्तत्र सोपहूतः कृतक्षणैः.
Yada, when Acharya, the teachers, Paravruttaha, became engaged, Griham-edhiya, of household life, Karmasu, in duties, by his friends of the same age, Balakehi, boys, Tatra, there, Saha, he, Prahlad Maharaj, Apahutaha, called, Krutakshanehi, obtaining an opportune moment. Translation and purport by His Divineness of Vaishnava Aparadha Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. When the teachers went home to attend their household affairs, the students of the same age as Prahlad Maharaj would call him to take the opportunity of leisure hours for play. Purport. In tiffin hours, the hours when the teachers were absent from the classroom, the student called Prahlad Maharaj, wanting to play with him. As will be seen from the following verses, however, Prahlad Maharaj was not very much interested in playing. Instead, he wanted to utilize every moment for advancing in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, as indicated in this verse, by the word Kruta Kshanehi, at the opportune moment when it was possible to preach about Krishna consciousness, Prahlad Maharaj used the time as follows. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmritam Jena Me Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutare Sambhrupakadamayham Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padagamanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Ladita Shri Sakhanitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarup Damadara Swami Niti Namine Nama Sadbhakta Mane Manipurudvavayacha Prabhupada Sadvani Prachara Niratahite Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desvatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratuse Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namoste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanushite Devi Pranamami Hari Ke Vancha Kalpataruvescha Rupa Sindhuve Vacha Patidanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Mukhaṁ karoti vācāraṁ pangulang hrayate girim Jatkrupatam Vande Sri Guru Dinatarinam. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'd like to welcome all of you for this morning Bhagavatam discussion. Please accept my humble obeisances. So, very nice verse today for discussion. When the teachers went home to attend their household affairs, the students of the same age as Prahlad Maharaj would call him to take the opportunity of leisure hours for play. So, for devotees, how they utilize their leisure hours, or whether they have leisure hours or not. So Prabhupada gives very nice purport here. So Prahlad Maharaj was not very much interested in playing. Instead, he wanted to utilize every moment for advancing in Krishna consciousness. So for a devotee, every moment matters. So he counts each and every moment, how to utilize that in Krishna consciousness, how to develop Krishna consciousness, or how to utilize every moment in the service of the Lord. So, as practicing devotees, sadhaka bhaktas, so we should also follow the footsteps of Sri Prahlad Maharaj. Instead of wasting our times unnecessarily, should utilize that in cultivating Krishna consciousness. So that is what it means here. Chanakya Pandita gives very nice instruction how to utilize, or how the people utilize their time. He says, Kavya Shastra Vinodena Kala Gachati Dhimatam Vyasanena cha Murkhanam Nidraya Kalahenava. Kavya Shastra Vinodena Kala Gachanti Dhimatam. Those who are intelligent persons, how do they utilize that time? Kavya Shastra Vinodena. By reading the scriptures. Shastras, Kavya Shastra Vinodena. So they take pleasure in that. Kala Gachati Dhimatam. Those who are intelligent persons. So the devotees are the most intelligent persons. So they should utilize their time in reading scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, like that. They should not waste their time. So, Vyasanena cha Murkhana. So those who are foolish, they utilize that time in Vyasan, in various kinds of Vyasan, that is enjoyment, so-called enjoyment. They waste their time. Vyasanena cha Murkhana, Nidraya Kalahenava. Either Vyasan in sense gratification, that is Vyasan, Nidra, or by sleeping, or by fighting. Kalahenava. So, Kalaha. So, what is the time for a engaged devotee to fight, or to sleep, or to make the sense gratification, if it is properly used in the service of Guru and Krishna? So he has no time actually. when we have time, so we utilize our time in all these unnecessary things. These are not required for our progress in spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So that's why, so it is very, very important that the devotees should be engaged 24 hours the day, per day. Even if they are in whatever state of their life, whatever ashram they may belong to, but the objective is to be engaged in the service of the Lord, or to be in Krishna consciousness. Whether they do service directly in the temple or in the or in their workplace, the idea is that they have to be in Krishna consciousness. So we need to be fully Krishna conscious by whatever we may do externally. So that doesn't matter. But motive should be there, that how I can serve Guru and Krishna, or whole day. So for that point, what is done is the morning evening programs are very essential for the devotees, any devotees, whether they are in the temple or in the household life. So morning programs are very, very essential. So that's why if morning is managed, morning from say in the 2 hours in the morning, or evening 1 hour maybe, or 2 hours. If that is managed, then whole day will be all right. If we take care of our morning programs very nicely, get up early in the morning and follow all the prescriptions given by Srila Prabhupada. So that will be very, very helpful. Actually, you can try whatever Prabhupada is given the timing. So if you change little bit, then it will not fit, and we cannot actually complete our sadhana in the morning. But if you follow Srila Prabhupada, whatever time he has given, says 3:30 you get up, and then 4:30 you do Mangal Arati. So then 5 o'clock Mangal Arati is over, then 5 to 7 you can chant, and then Bhagavatam or other activities you can do, hearing, reading. So all these activities we can do in time. Otherwise, if we get up late in the morning, then whole day will be, you cannot do. So it is not possible actually. And evening time, once again we take bath and then do a Gaur Arti and little bit discussion from Bhagavatam. So that will be very, very wonderful for a sadhana bhakti. And if we manufacture our own time and we try to complete our sadhana, then it may not be possible actually. It will be very, very difficult to complete our sadhana, whatever sadhana is there. So that's why the utilization of time is very essential. If we respect the time will give us opportunity to serve. A lot of opportunity. So we have to respect the time actually. We see our acharyas like Bhaktivedanta, so from minute to minute they have the time. Exactly. So that regulation has to be there. Like regularity in the sadhana. So that is very, very important. That indicates mode of goodness. So mode of goodness, whether we are in mode of goodness or not, how to know that we follow this time schedule properly. So if we respect the time, then one day time will give us time. We'll get more time. So because Krishna is time, na? Kalasmi, Krishna is time. So he gives the time. So if we respect the time by regulation, so our regularity should be there. So each day, full regulations. So if you see Bhaktivedanta Thakur's schedule from morning to evening, so he was so expert. His schedule was perfect. He can match your watch by his activity. So what time he gets up, what time he goes to office. So all these are by minute to minute actually. And we can also see from the materialistic point of view also. There are many we have seen here. These villas used to come in. So earlier he was the chancellor. So he used to come, he will say that I will be late by 1 minute. So then he will inform, actually 1 minute he will be late. He will inform. So minute to minute he could manage. So even the materialistic person, they are managing minute to minute. So what to speak of the devotee? We should also respect the time and utilize the time properly. If you're not utilizing time, then what you'll do is we'll start in gossiping in various sense gratification works. Like you'll get time to watch the WhatsApp messages. Lots of WhatsApp messages are coming. That is wasted. If you have time, otherwise, if you don't have time, you just simply see what is required for you. Otherwise, you don't go. Otherwise, what will happen? See all other YouTubes and all our internet, so many things. Our mind will be dragged, and we will completely lose our Krishna consciousness. We will become material conscious. So that is the point. So devotees actually will be very, very cautious in utilizing their time and energy. It is because Lord has given this opportunity to serve and to please Guru and Krishna and go back to Godhead. So, so whatever time we have wasted, so we cannot get it back. Like you cannot buy the time, even if one moment, buy millions of dollars. That Prabhupada quotes Chanak Pandit. You cannot. The best repentance of the past wastage of time is to utilize the present time. That is the best repentance. Otherwise, repenting, what will do? Repentance will not help us. Only repentance. But by repentance, if we can utilize our present time, what is in our hand, that is the best repentance. Otherwise, we will be only lamenting what is gone. So lamentation will not help. So that's why we should engage 24 hours a day. Otherwise, what will happen? We may, like, we will end up in fighting actually. If the brahmacharis are not properly engaged. What Prabhupada used to make is that he used the brahmacharis from morning to evening. Like he used to send them for book discussion. Nowadays marathons are going on. So they're properly engaged 24 hours. So they, as soon as they come to the temple, they'll feel flat, and they don't even know where they have slept, etc. So this much service was there. So this much engagement was there. Otherwise, they don't have time now to think about others, what others are doing. They're just simply busy in their own sadhana, own services. So when we mind others without minding our own business, then comes various things like aparadha will come. Vaishnava Aparadha, the great entrance in our progressive devotional services. Greatest entrance. So we should avoid. If we have time, so if we have time, then we will engage all these unnecessary things. We'll land up in Vaishnava Aparadha. Because what other devotee is doing, what he is doing. So we have so much time to think of. So if we are properly engaged in our bhajana, now where is the time to think about others, what others are doing, what others are not doing? We should mind our own business. So if we hear about others and they are bad things, generally what the tendency, human tendency is that when we hear about others, we don't hear their glories, we hear their faults. So that's the tendency actually. But that is not good for our devotional practice. Sadhu ninda sunile sukruti hoy kha. Sadhu ninda sunile sukruti hoy kha. Janme janme adhopata sarva shastra koy. So as soon as we hear about some blasphemy about devotee, all our fortunes, good fortunes, whatever we have punyas, whatever we have accumulated, everything is gone actually. Sadhunila sunila sukruti hoy hoy janme janme adapata sarva shastra hoy. All the scripture they warn about this. Don't hear about the blasphemy of the devotees. So that is very, very essential. Sudopani samajadi bhakta ninda kare. Bhagavata pramanato thapi sigra mare. So that is what it is. Sudopani, even if Lord Shiva commits Vaishnava Aparadha, he is not spared actually. Bhagavata pramanato thapi sigra mare. So lifespan will be certain. Then devotion best most important thing is that our devotional progress will be blocked actually. We cannot progress. We cannot. Even if we are so powerful, like Lord Shiva, very, very powerful, Shivapani, very powerful personality. Even if that kind of devotee that commits Vaishnava Aparadha, like we have the Bhagavatam, that incident of Amrish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. So Durvasa was very powerful. Actually, he was incarnation Lord Shiva only. So even if he was so powerful yogi, he committed a great offense at the lotus feet of Amrish Maharaj, and he was not spared actually. Nobody could rescue. Even Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Lord Vishnu, even he could not. He told that I cannot help in this matter because you have committed a great offense at the lotus feet of Vaishnava Aparadha. Cannot. So best thing is that we should mind our own business. Why to talk about others? If we are not adhikari, if we are not given that responsibility of some Vaishnavas, so why to talk about, try to correct about those things. So whoever is in our zone of responsibility, so for them to them we can correct, but it is offensive to go beyond our adhikar, beyond our qualifications. So nija adhikara kariya vichar sadhu ninda aparadha kare pare. We should know our qualification. Nija adhikara kariya vichar. What is my qualification? So we should know. I should know that my qualification. So I am a humble devotee. I have no adhikar. I have no qualification. So like, what is that? What service I have done? I have not done any tangible service for the Lord, for Guru. Nija adhikar kariya vichar. So other devotees, maybe they are all senior devotees. Senior maybe one may be Ayu Vrudha, one may be senior in age, one may be Jnana Vrudha, like senior in realization, knowledge and realization. Seva Srashta. Seva, one may be senior in service. He might be doing good service, better service in Guru and Krishna than me. So all these things we should consider. I should consider, and I should refrain from all kind of blasphemy. So nija adhikara kariya vichar. So what I have done for Krishna? I have not done anything for Krishna. So what is my qualification to criticize somebody doing certain services for Guru and Krishna? So understanding that, I should refrain from sadhunita. I have not done anything. Even if actually whoever really does something, he always considers that he has not done anything. Sadhuninda aparadha kare pariya. So understanding our qualification, our responsibility, if I am not responsible for certain devotee, So responsible means one is a guru position. So he has the adhikar to correct the disciple. If one is not in that position, then it is better to refrain from all these things, because that is the hindrance in our progress in devotional service. So there are a lot of gates. So we have crossed so many gates. Meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit affair. These gates we have crossed. Now, name, fame, profit, adoration, these gates we have to cross. Sadhana is the greatest obstacle. We have to cross that also. So ultimately, it is actually Guru and Krishna service for their pleasure, and always considering oneself to be very, very lowly. Danya. Danya Atma Nivedana Bhatrupte Bharana Avashya Rathve Krishna Vishwas. Danya. So taking a very humble position, considering I'm nothing actually. So because Vaishnavas are very great, so they are somehow or other they are engaging in some kind of service. Otherwise, I don't have any qualification. Actually, I don't have any qualification. This is our convictions. Even if we have certain qualification, maybe, but that qualification, if we think that it is my qualification, then that is not good qualification. So because our parampara is like Trunada Vishwan, we should be always humble. So that will attract the mercy. If we want to get the mercy of Guru and Krishna, because mercy is required. Otherwise, our by sadhana we cannot achieve anything. Sadhana has not power to get Krishna prema. Sadhana has the only thing it can do is it can attract the mercy of Guru and Krishna by sadhana, because we are following the regulated principle, whatever is said by Guru and Krishna, and trying to serve. So it can only attract their mercy, the superior mercy. That's what we want. And mercy will be very, very effective when we maintain our danya position, danya, the humility. So humility attracts. We can see that how this Goswami, short Goswamis, they are all qualified persons, ministers and kings in that positions. Practically, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, these are great personalities actually. But how they are maintaining, you see, themselves, even so they are saying, so that we are not qualified. So that humility attracts the mercy of the Lord. So the great Goswamis, they are saying that I am not qualified to work in the streets where these servants of Lord Jagannath is working. And Namacharya Haridas Thakur, so he always considered that I'm so lowly. So if we consider that we are qualified, actually we are disqualified. So that's the point. If we think that in some way or other I'm very qualified, that is the disqualification. That is our disqualification. If I think that I am not qualified, so that is our qualification. So by thinking that I am patita, I am adhama, so throughout my life, whatever service is given, I should do. So by thinking patita, I'll be actually lifted by the Lord one day. But if I think that I am qualified, the Lord will not look at me, then I will be remaining here in this. So what to prolong our staying in this material world? Always we are rotting in this material world. Then why you should do that? After coming to Krishna consciousness, still then if we engage in all kinds of nonsense things, talking about others, prajalpa, aparadha. So these are hindrance in devotional service. Greatest hindrance. So we are so fortunate to come to this movement. So fortunate. Out of millions of people, how many people are coming to Krishna consciousness? And after coming to Krishna consciousness, how many people are getting the opportunity to serve a pure devotee in the service of scientific sankirtan? directly engaging in a particular. So this movement has to stay for coming 10,000 years. That means you should try to understand what is the role of Bhaktivedanta Institute in the coming days, because people are all argumentative, they're all scientific, so they will ask any questions. Nowadays, most people are pious background. Now, for the days to come, everybody will challenge, because nowadays you see that all these children, whatever are coming up in the coming generations, they are not actually in our Vedic parampara, because the Varnashram system is lost. So earlier, by default, we used to hear about Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these things, and without reading in the textbook, we used to hear from our elders, because that the Varnashram system was there. So elders used to speak about that, all these activities, whether drama was there, all these things. So nowadays these are gone. So they don't have that background. So they are now studying directly science and scientific things. And they will question for everything. For everything they will question. Then to convince them with the Shastra, they will say, the Shastras are our mythology. Then the role of Bhaktivedanta Institute is coming to play a very big. So now, we'll be we are given this by Guru Maharaj's mercy. We are engaged in this great service actually. That this BI movement will is the support to the Hare Krishna movement for coming 10,000 years. So what Guru Maharaj has said that so whatever is given, so we just have to carry forward. So all this base is made, just like Srila Prabhupada has made the base for preaching. For in the scientific community, Guru Maharaj has made this. So we should simply carry forward without fighting among ourselves. Prabhupada used to say that there is no threat to our movement. Only threat is there if you quarrel. And your love and affection will be shown by how you cooperate among yourselves after I go. And that same thing is applicable in our movement also. So Guru Maharaj will not be happy if we start fighting among ourselves. If you have leisure time, that means we'll start fighting. So Maharaj used to say that it doesn't matter how much temples you are making, how much disciples you are making. All these qualifications are all external, and it matters how much pure you are becoming by doing all these things. So our only concern should be that how to please Guru and Krishna. Yeah, in my capacity, I don't have any adhikar, I don't have any qualification, but still the devotees are thinking me that I have some qualification engaging me in the service of Guru and Krishna. Okay. So maybe I think time is up, so I have to wind up here. And if there is any comments, suggestions, questions, etc., we can discuss. So sorry if I have gone a little away from my adhikar, so please forgive me. So I simply wanted to take this opportunity to speak on this subject. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for taking the class and finishing it on time. Yeah, it was very nice class. Okay, I do have two questions, but let us hear the questions from our Shyam Chandra Prabhu and Shyam Kishore Prabhu first, and then.
Okay.
Yes, Shyam Chandra Prabhu, please.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Haripada Prabhu.
Dhanavad Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Jai Shila Sripad Maharaj, Jai Shila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice insights to time management, especially for aspiring devotees and for devotees who are on the path of spiritual advancement. Thank you very much. So my question is in relation to this verse where the third line says Vayasyar Palakais Tatra. So many a times the challenge for Grasta devotee parents is after hearing all this, they try to make their sons or children at that age, Kaumar age, to by the teachings of Prahlad, try to imbibe those things. And because a school going child, practically I'm saying, everybody is not Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes.
So if a friend is calling for playing in the tiffin interval or whatever, and if child refuses because Prahlad Maharaj did like this, and then the child gets isolated, and that's a stage when the behavior and attitudes, everything it's a formative age. So sometimes we have to be careful as Grasta parents while molding the child, because we also know from Krishna Leela and from Gauri Leela that at that age the Lord himself was naughty and he has done a lot of playful activities. So children are known to in the playful days will play, especially the boys. Okay, so I wanted you to throw some light on this part of it, where we talk about because Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahajan, so in the coming verses, of course, he will tell his friends why he should not. But how practical that is for the children, school-going children, to enact. You cannot enact it, and at the same time you cannot avoid the association of the class friends at that age, 5 to 10 years age. So I would just wanted to know your perspective, how this challenge the Grasta parents should manage.
Yes, bro. Thank you for bringing this question. Actually, this is a great challenge actually in coming days, particularly for the children coming from the devotee parents, and they definitely want their children should be Krishna conscious and utilize that time properly. But playing is also another important part for the children, the growing children. So if they are not getting the proper association of other devotees' children, then it is a very, very challenge. So so that's why actually Prabhupada wanted to have this Gurukula system of education, so that the children can play Krishna Krida, like this Parikshit Maharaj. He was also, it is described that he was playing Krishna Krida, like related to Krishna's pastimes. So the children can do many play related to Krishna. So this kind of atmosphere should be given, and that may not be possible in the present scenario. So in days to come, what we can envisage is that, or what we can plan is that a proper education system should be brought up. Like Prabhupada has established this it's a preaching movement, like in education sector also. I think like Guru Maharaj also tried many schools. So for a long-term planning, because we have to plan for coming 10,000 years. So the education system has to be and like a devotional educational system, or a proper atmosphere of this education, like a complete system has to be developed. So then it is possible. Otherwise, in the present moment, if I want to say, it is very difficult actually. And many times what they do is devotee parents, they used to play along with the children, so that they will not get the bad association of other children. So they should have time also. For parents, they should have time. So you can play with the children with, say, badminton you can play, or some football you can play, or some easy games you can play, like that. Then they will not get the other aspects. Otherwise, they will be contaminated very definitely. In the present moment, if this thing is not taken up, like Prabhupada has established this movement, and this movement has various wings. So one is what Srimad Maharaj was given in charge of, like scientific community, preaching to the scientific community. Now in the education sector, actually we should also see, because in the days to come, so these children which are coming now, they have to be also given proper education system. And if that atmosphere can be made, the school should be completely like in the spiritual atmosphere, without any material things. Of course, they will be given the material education plus spiritual education, like the system now. But the teachers should be all devotees, and so and that they'll get and the children should all be the devotees. So in that kind of training, if it can be given, then it will be a good thing. So that idea comes sometimes that we have to develop, because this movement has to last for coming the 10,000 years. So it is very, very important. Thank you, Prabhu. And if you want to add up, because you have nicely brought up your Amarendra Prabhu and Arjun Sakha so very nicely. So please share your experience so that we parents can learn how to take care of this. How did you do? Please share your experience.
Prabhu, first of all, thank you very much. I think you've given a wonderful answer. And I think devotee mothers have a greater role in this, because normally fathers are always busy with office work. So as far as my wife Sundari is concerned, she started Bal Vihar program at home. And see, mothers normally, the children mothers, they are all good friends. Over a period of time, they become good friends. So when the mothers take initiative and start this Bal Vihar program at home, then what happens is it can be once in a week program, when where there is a Krishna storytelling, Krishna coloring, painting, then Krishna games, as you rightly said. So, and the Krishna picnics, spiritual retreats. So then over a period of 1 or 2 years, we can see a transformation in the hearts of the other mothers, because every mother, whether devotee or non-devotee, would like their child at that age to do the right things and not be rebellious, kind of thing. Even without the knowledge of spirituality, that's a fundamental thing of a mother. So if the devotee mother can take an initiative by doing something like that, which will be seen as beneficial for the child, because these kind of things are not taught in a school. So this is something like an extracurricular activity, so that the child gets, the other children also get very attracted, and they get a chance to express themselves, and they are nicely encouraged in that environment, and the children become good friends, and then the topic of discussion is only about Krishna's pastimes. So in this environment, when one generation or a batch of students can grow, then they can transform. Like so when my wife started this, slowly, the school bus in which Amarendra was traveling with all of children, they used to sing only Mahamantra, or they used to sing. So when the bus used to come from a distance, we know that it is this particular school bus is coming, because all the children there would sing. Otherwise, if you don't teach them this, they will start singing film songs.
Yes.
Like in some other we have seen that. So, and then gradually what happens is it catches the attention of the school management also. So because a group of children, suddenly about 10, 12, 15, 20 children, they all take up in a different way, and then it becomes like a mass movement. So then the school management also takes interest, and then they call the parents. In this case, they called us, what have you done, this and that. So then we just said simple things, and so that way, even the ahar, that is what food to be given, so it gets spiritualized. And then so slowly a batch of 30, 40, 50 students, they all becomes so the mothers, once they do that things properly, then another mother can get influenced, and then mothers, they love to interact, mingle, like they especially on the cooking activities. So then that becomes also spiritualized. So the children also get spiritual food by and large, and then the whole environment becomes spiritual. So that is, I think, one way we tried, and it worked. And in a family where there are 2 children, like elder boy and second boy, or girl and boy, if the first is taken care, then the second automatically follows the footsteps of the first. We don't have to put any efforts. Only the effort has to be put on the first child. Automatically, the second one falls in place. So this has worked very well for us. So that is the only thing we have done. But maybe there are some better ways other people would have done. But this is a very fundamental thing for a child's upbringing, formative years. Once a child crosses 10 years, then it's difficult to mold him. 10, 15 years, it's very difficult to mold him. So that's what very good words, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. And you came out as a very successful father. So congratulations for that.
All glories to Sripad Maharaj.
Yes, yes. You kept the transcendental competition between the two brothers. Well, like
Yes.
who can
Yes.
memorize all more number
Yeah,
of
there was.
shlokas?
I used to keep a weekly sloka recitation competition at home. Between four of us, mother, father, and two children. So every week, one sloka of Bhagavad Gita we should recite, and next week I used to give them some prize. Whoever is the first to recite, especially among the children, it's very healthy to have this sloka competition. And important thing for parents to know is that if they can put the children in a school that teaches Sanskrit as a language also, that will very much be helpful in the long run, because at that time we do not appreciate. We all want to put our children in convent school and then get good glories, all that, but that is all, as we realize as parents, is a waste. So we put our children in a school that has Sanskrit, and then automatically that becomes the part of their one of the subjects, and then sloka becomes very easy for them. The memorization automatically comes. It's less like talking your native language or whatever. So that helps actually, Prabhu. So parents, father also has to be creative at home in this age, and these kind of things one has to think. Otherwise, it becomes very mundane, and life just goes so fast. Suddenly, we realize the children have become 15 years, and we missed this opportunity. We will think, because devotee parents have these problems. I've seen children somehow do not. They become rebellious, because they try to force Prahlad Maharaj's teachings, and children cannot accept it at that age because it's beyond their understanding. So parents have to take the initiative and become more creative in this, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
We have Shyam Kishore Prabhu waiting. Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna, Haripada Prabhuji.
Dhanavad Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Prabhu, Dandavat, Haribol. All glories to Srila Sripad and Prabhupada. Prabhuji, it's nice to see you after quite some time. So, firstly, I will say very nice. And means you said I liked it. Means the Prabhupada being the authority, how he engaged the brahmacharis like that, in full. So that's after the seva, they were so tired that they don't had any time for any gossip or thinking any frivolous thing. It's very good. So it's very responsibility of the authority also, how they engage the brahmacharis or the sannyasis, or they are properly engaged. So authority has a big responsibility. So my question, according to your class, means what I heard means devotees should be fully engaged, not to criticize. That is very right. Criticize is a negative thing. In bhakti it doesn't work. We have to appreciate all the good works what the devotees are doing. So my question is that it is when someone devotee is working under the organization, and after certain time, when the head of the organization or some very senior, very prominent, active devotee has passed away, or the head of the organization passed away, and the devotees who are dedicated, they are working in the organization in full time. I'm saying about the dedicated devotee. If they have some, after the demise of the head or the senior prominent active disciple, they feel little insecure, means how it will run ahead, how the things will be taken ahead. So that insecurity, if he is getting now after so many years of service, when Guru Maharaj was there, that time we were totally carefree. And after when the responsible people whom we had full trust and faith, they were also there, we had no complaints or no issues. We were doing our seva. But after the demise, so we are certain concerned or little bit anxiety. Just a second. So if we put our issues, we want to have a clarification. It's an organization issue. So we put in the organization to our members, board members, and like that we want a clarification to know what are the functions of the organization, what are the rules of the organization, No, so many years we didn't know. We just were working in full faith and trust. So if you want to know what are the functions, what are the rules, what are the made by the director of the organization, what have Guru Maharaj has made the rules, laws, and how it works. Because it's our also, I think it is a right also of the devotee to know how the organization works, this thing, to know at least the basic things. I'm not saying the confidential thing, but the basic things to know. It's to just work ignorantly, not knowing anything, just working. That is also not proper. As a, I think, the person, if he's working under some authority, he should know the basic rules also. What are the, so my question is that there is no, I feel that there is no wrong in asking the organization members, that the board members, to that we want meeting for that we want to know what are the rules and regulations made by our director or the guru. That is the thing. So I want to ask you whether is it any wrong as a dedicated devotee to ask our board members that we want to, please, if you can clarify, let us know. Then we will have, what will happen, that we will have more trust and faith in the organization administration. That is the things will be follow if you know the rules and regulation. I think you understood, maybe, isn't it, Prabhu?
Yeah, trying to understand.
Yeah, Prabhuji. In simple words, can we question or can we ask for clarity the higher authorities in case of any such requirements? Can this be done in short form?
Yeah.
So can we have that meeting?
Yeah,
with
Prabhuji, I think it is clear. Maybe
and we can
let us our Haripada Prabhu answer the question.
I want to hear from him that he understood the question.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it doesn't make.
Yeah, so let him say whether he has taken it or not. Yes, Prabhuji. Is it clear now, or you want more?
Yeah. Okay, means sometimes we see something, if we see something wrong going on around us, so it may not be good to just ignore if something wrong is going on. And we, in our understanding, if something wrong is going on, it can be brought to the authority, senior authority, that I feel like this. But after that, after just giving information, so it is their concern to do. So if they're not doing, then we are actually taking their position. So our duty is up to just to bring the notice of them, and then we should not feel that whether it is executed or not. So
excuse me, Prabhu. Excuse me, the question is not understood. I said it is not my authority, between my authority and my issue. This is a issue of the organization. This is an organization issue, that one head of the organization has passed away, and a very senior, prominent, active disciple has also passed away, with whom every person, every dedicated person, whether it's a brahmachari, grihastha, everybody is had full faith in him. Now, the head of the department and also one prominent, I'm not naming it, that will be in the meeting. When we can name the person. So, but others may understood. Others means one is a prominent active disciple whom everybody had faith and trust in. He also passed away. So that's why my question is, if we have a concern, we have a anxiety now. Now, if the new person who will come now, how he will do, or who will take the lead now? Lead means who will take the things in a very cooperative way, because we had a faith in that person. It's not my only one question, but the other members are also there. It's a collective question. So we have maybe have a worry now. So we want a meeting together with all the board members, that we want our clarification. What are the organization rules? We didn't know from so many years. So we want to know, nothing we knew. What are the rules, regulations, how the functions take place? So we can work in full faith and trust in the management. That is my question. It is not between me and the authority. It's the organization issue. So, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I may not be in the proper position, but still, it is always good to talk directly. Many issues can be resolved. Many issues, sometimes we think it is big issue, but it may not be so big. Can be resolved by direct talk. Like, so because we are here in the same house, same Srimad house, so I think nobody will deny that can I take some 5 minutes or 10 minutes time or maybe half an hour time. So this direct discussion. So I think that is possible. And if that doesn't work, then maybe we can put to committee. That's okay. But I think it can be so. And most of the issues can be resolved by direct talks. Direct.
Yes, Prabhu, as you said.
Because see, if we are, everybody is trying for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, so moment. So if, there may be difference of opinions. Opinions may differ, but the objective should be same. That pleasing Guru and Krishna. So that may be possible in our organization. So the opinions may be different. So you can put your point of view. So that's okay.
Yes, Prabhu, agreed. As you said that first I go to my authority. So I have already placed this to the authority several times, but they are avoiding the.
I am waiting for so much time. I do have 2 questions and we are out of time already.
Okay, I stop here. We can.
Yeah, many times I don't get the chance to ask question, and we don't see Haripada Prabhu also. Yes, Prabhuji. So yeah, sorry, Shyam Kishore Prabhuji, for stopping you, but maybe we'll take your question later. Yes, Prabhuji. So 2 questions, Prabhuji. One is, you said like proper time management is required. So in order to have proper time management, actually we need to plan our activities. Without properly planning the activities beforehand, it is not possible to have this time management. So many times, but after coming to the devotion, many times we see devotees saying that we are dependent on Krishna, and so we will go in a way, whatever the way Krishna gives us, or whatever Krishna gives us, we will go that. So there is not necessary to plan our activities. So how to balance these two?
So actually, devotees, they have the priority management, not the time management. So priority. So what are our most priority things? So we give priority to those first priorities. Then other things, small things can be adjusted. So most important things should be given higher priorities, like chanting. So chanting, finishing 16 rounds before going to office or before the day starts. The most important thing. Then hearing lecture and reading something, and like reading and contemplation. So these things should be given high priorities, and then other things will fall in their way. So how much we are giving priority to what thing, so that matters actually. Because if we plan minute by minute, we may not be able to manage like Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Particularly myself, I tried, but it is not possible. Like they are great personalities, your devotees, so we cannot also imitate. But whatever Prabhupada has given, which is practical, maybe, so that I thought that if we follow that, whatever Prabhupada has given the timings, so that best suits us. So give priority to the most important things, like for whom we have taken vows. So those things are most priority. Then actually health comes. Health also. Health has to be taken care of. That is also another priority. Like you do certain yogas or pranayams for health, because in the coming days it is because we are not doing very like physical labors. So some yoga should be done for health. Why? For better service, because this body will be engaged in the service of Guru and Krishna. But body is not fit, then he cannot serve ourselves. So in that consciousness, if we do certain yoga and all, that is okay. Guru Maharaj also used to do certain pranayams. Did I answer, or you want to add? You can answer.
Nothing to add, Roji, but little more clarification is required. See, so chanting, it is 2-hour work, and we consider Mangalarti or reading and all. It will be at max 4 to 6 hours thing. So remaining day is completely in idle, right?
Yeah, if one is going to office and all, that is, so for him it is okay, because he will be engaged in that activities. If one is going for a Sankirtana, it's okay. But if one is staying, so
yeah, so that doing something, it is already pre-planned, right? So that's what my question is. So some engagement is there, which is already we have to think of.
Yeah, so that's what we have to see. Like you, for your case, you may be engaged in scientific Sankirtana. Maybe you are preparing matters for course, lectures, all these things. That is scientific Sankirtana you are doing.
Yeah. Thank you, Roji.
Yeah, so that is also devotional service. That is also Sankirtana. That's not free.
Okay.
But yeah, if nothing is there and you are sitting and you are sleeping, that is ideal.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. And yeah, actually I forgot one more question. Maybe our Balramji has a question. I will try to recollect. Yes, Balramji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Just one line to add here. So for the
Balram Prabhuji, for adding lines, actually, the eligibility criteria is you have to become sannyasi.
no, it's just the
we can also allow professors.
No, for the learning stage, I mean, the line is for the learning stage, those who are in this stage, time management is the worst thing that we can do. Because whatever time we need to learn, that is not fixed. But once one becomes professional, then we can think of time management. So that is the most important point one should remember.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
So, yeah. So, as I told, if we maintain our priorities, then time will be managed. So priority management is in place of time management.
Yeah, Prabhuji, but if we are working together with someone, if our priorities and their priorities are not managing or not matching, then how this time management will come, or how time scheduling has to be done?
Yes, that's why this morning hour that nobody will disturb you. So 4:30 to your this sadhana period should be over by 7. Then hearing Bhagavatam you are hearing. So 8 So by 9 o'clock, your personal things, personal sadhana, and all these things will be over by 9 o'clock, 9:30. Then you are ready for other activities. So suppose your work and some other works, they have to be done together. So that time, official time, we can adjust.
Yeah, but now the point is they have their own priorities of works, way of doing works, and I have my own ways of doing work priorities. I have my own list of priorities. So in that way, how collectively we can go ahead so that we both can work together, because that is the point, right? Otherwise, I may have my own priorities and I will do, because if there is the mismatch of the priorities, I think this work to be done first and the next work to be done at last. This is the least priority for me. But the other devotee may think that has to be given higher priority. So there comes the difference, and I feel that okay, he is not liking me, or he is not doing the thing in a right way. So I don't want to work with him. I want to work with the other guy. So that chance may come. So how to manage this thing?
Okay. I think in this respect, these materialistic persons are better situated than the devotees, because they have the target. Like this week we'll meet this. So like they have the fixed targets per week, monthly targets or weekly targets or daily targets. So they have the targets. So that may help.
Yeah, it brings back to my initial question again. So planning of activities is required. So this we have to plan activities in such a way that we should have something. Okay, our Govind Maharaji would like to say.
Yes.
Yes, Maharaji, please.
Actually, our Haripada
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna Dandavad Pranam. Your input is priority management. It takes care of everything. Actually, it is to be contemplated upon. I'm really impressed, fascinated by your input, because it is very deep. So ultimately, Sanatan Goswami, if he consider, but who is your priority? Rather than my priority, one should think, who is my priority? Then your priority management will take care automatically the time management. We are not stuck within the limited time. We are part of the eternal time. Our engagement is not eternally. We are engaged, and if whatever we do, it is to fulfill someone's will. Correct? We don't do anything just for my benefit or my being myself in the center. Our center is always Sri Guru and Gauranga. Correct? So did I chant my 16 rounds? That's very wonderful. But it should not violate, or it should not come in between the need of one who is my top priority, Sri Guru. Correct? Of course, Guru gives you the general instructions. Do this, do all these things. But there are certain things which are ad hoc orders or immediate thing to be taken care of. So generally, the comparison and competition comes in the general category. But when you are following your top priority, or then you have to cater to the need of the person who is your top priority. You are not your top priority. Your Guru is, and Krishna is. So why we chant? We chant for the pleasure of Krishna. That's a general principle. But ultimately, we chant or do anything for the pleasure of Sri Guru. So if Sri Guru has given us many things to do for his pleasure, but when something is immediate, then immediate need has to be given the priority. And that way, other things, if a top priority is taken care of, then other general category, we may or may not give the allotted even time or something, but that's all right, because we have taken care of our top priorities. Just like going on a journey, you took all the care and everything, small and big, and you left the passport at home, or something which will violate or you forgot. So the whole idea is, if we cater to fulfill the need of our top priority, everything else will fall in place. Because why we want to do even many limbs of devotion service, if the top priority, if Sri Guru's immediate need is not taken care of, I hope you understand. Because there is a principle in our scriptures where the Anga Seva and Angi Seva is there. Anga means the many parts of it. Angi is the main, like. So what is our Angi Seva? So when Sri Guru becomes our Angi Seva, Guru Seva takes the priority over even Shravanam, Kirtanam and many other things. Of course, we try to remember things, but who is your Angi Seva? Who is your top priority among all the priorities? Because devotional activities, they are all our priorities, but among them, one becomes the primary or the Angi, and others become the limbs. So that will settle the question about time management or but priority management, as our Prabhu said, that was really, really excellent.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you. Our Prajpat Maharaj is having something, but I have a little bit, I query here. So, yeah, if I am not at that stage of keeping the highest priority, Guru as Guru, so in that case, like I do have my own priorities. If the person I am working with is not matching with my priority, then after few such mismatches, then I think that okay, he is not working according to that the way actually it has to be. So then I lose faith on him, and I don't want to work with him in that condition. So how to come out of this?
It's a question or comment, bro?
Question, Prabhuji, because because I'm not that I'm not having that priority, so I'm still with my own priorities, and the other person is not following my priorities. So I think that he is not going in the right direction. So, but actually, I am also in not following the right direction. So I am not sure.
That's
But
right.
but I don't know. But I don't know that I am not following the right direction. I think that I do have the right way of doing things, and my priorities are the best priorities. So I do think that others are not doing right way. So I need to have the other person, or I need to go away. So this is the thought that I come with. So how to come out of this?
When there are two centers now, the two circles of two centers, two different centers will cross. So conflict, there will be conflict. So that's why Guru's priority, Guru's instruction is the first priority. So if we have a common Guru and common organization, we are working for the betterment of the organizations or Guru's. So if that is kept in mind, I think this will be taken care of. So individual priorities, like I have this priority, but suppose the organization wants that this book should be published by end of this month. So that is the priority now. So that is the top priority as per the desire of Guru and Krishna. So that has to be agreed upon by both you and your co-workers. So unless that common point we are reaching, so it is very difficult. Otherwise, you will work in your circle and he will work in his circle, and that will be always conflicts. So we have to come. So that's why if we are co-workers, there should be a boss who can guide us. So we have to follow the boss, but the superior. authority under whom we are working, then I think things will be synchronized. Otherwise, it is not possible.
Thank you, Raji. Yeah, Rashpat Maharaj, please.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam.
Dhanot
Haripada
Maharaj.
Prabhuji, I should say one of the excellent lectures, or in fact, you can say the best Bhagavat
No.
lecture in 2020.
21.
21, sorry. Really, very, very wonderful. The way you have put your understanding about the time. Time is impersonal, but behind the impersonal thing, there is a person,
Yes.
Krishna. So that is very wonderful. Regarding children, also our Shyam Chandra Prabhuji's comment on how to put children, and your this is really very wonderful, and some of our devotees can take some inspiration from that, and we should not impose what Prahlad Maharaj is saying, as both of you are telling. But Prahlad Maharaj's teachings are more relevant for the grown-ups than the children. Because he became in knowledge, he became very mature, right? You have to say, Gnana Vruddhar, you are saying something, right?
Yes.
Is extremely on a different level. And we see even grown-ups are playing around. Right? How we are playing around, Guru has given some seva and we have left that seva. And then so many things, and first of all, we should stick to seva what Guru has given to us. Then no problem will come. If we have to keep the person in the center, organization comes later. Like Sri Guru, we have to keep in the center. So we have to ask Sri Guru whom I should follow. Right? So Sri Guru will decide everything. Organization, all other things will come later. So some brahmacharis were fortunate to ask Guru Maharaj, after your physical departure, whom should we work under? And they got the answer. So for them, it doesn't matter what organization. And Guru also did not answer what is organization they have to work, what is organization structure. You work under this person, finish. If that person is in this organization, you work in that organization. If that person is in that organization, you work in that organization. Or if he is out of something else, you have to focus on the person. This is personal. So if we focus on the seva, I have to meditate. What seva Guru Maharaj asked me to do? Am I doing that seva or not? And then whom should I work with? Because organization gets very funny. We are seeing in ISKCON, our parent organization, how committees turn out. In VI system is a little different. So yeah, Guru Maharaj was functioning in the time, and Guru Maharaj has given certain directions also to devotees, especially the monks. They can sit together and discuss what Guru Maharaj told us, what seva Guru Maharaj given. Are we doing our seva? What are we doing today? What are we hankering for now? What Guru Maharaj asked us to do. So if we introspect, there won't be much problem. If there is any problem with the system, we have some grievance, then we have a grievance committee approach there, and things will proceed from there. Instead of that, you should try to take the system into our hands. Try to call trustee meeting when one is not a trustee. So it is, one should not take into one's hands, and some provisions are made to take care of things. We have grievance committee. You are insecure because you felt something has been done to you, so you can approach grievance committee, and from there things will go on. It is not that in VI we are not listening, we are listening. And so far I have not received any request to clarify what is the system. They just want to go over top of the president and bring some call trust meeting. It's also not very good. You should first approach the immediate authority, ask for clarification. Before that, meditate on what is Guru Maharaj's instruction to me. If Guru Maharaj asked me to work under somebody, why I have to worry about the organization structure? Guru Maharaj knows who is following him, right? So These are some of the things. Otherwise, what happens? Bhayahavaha, paradharmo bhayahavaha. We try to take into hands the job of others. It is not very comfortable and it unnecessarily creates disturbance.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Is there further questions or we can end?
Yes, Prabhuji. Maybe it is already 9 o'clock. So, because actually our time is 8:30, but we can extend the time, but it is also limited. No, I mean, it is regularly happening for Bhagavatam. Not for you only, but yeah. So the dialogue resolves everything. That's what Srimad Maharaji says. Yeah. Let's go ahead, Maharaji, please.
Well, I like the way he opened the class today with that Kavya Shastram, we know then Kalo Gacchati Dhimatam Vyasanena Cha Murkhanam Nidraya Kalhenava. That's very beautiful. Yeah, so lot of distraction for those who are not really intelligent. So, but Guru Maharaj would say that every sadhaka is intelligent enough. Then little indication is enough for the intelligent being. So I think if we think of our top priority, then this thing will be sorted out. Because oftentimes the trouble is with oneself. Because any complaint or anything which is grievance should be able to be resolved on one-to-one basis most of the time. Because there is nothing beyond the person. Because then it becomes a personal issue, and that's very dangerous. It should not become a personal issue. It should, if the concern is really that huge, Guru Maharaj, and we can, if how many people agree with us? Because I have a problem, and how many people agree with me, and how many people disagree with me? At least I should give benefit of doubt to others' opinion also. I could not be absolutely just that only my way. There could be, but that's where the paropka, the human, because I can be concerned about the problems thinking, which may not be so important also. At least, even for my own consciousness, why should I try to grow with so many problems which are pulling me down? So in that sense, I think this could be, the broad-mindedness can be brought up, that how serious it is, how beneficial it is, or how unbeneficial or detrimental for my own growth or progressiveness, compared to how much it will benefit others. If others are not complaining, can I just stay not so worried about? Let others take up the issue, then you can share. But rather than oneself becoming the issue, that's not so very healthy. So we must come out of it, and that will be very, 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 very appreciated by Guru Maharaj. Because the best thing for a sadhaka, in my observation, which I'm struggling myself, but I'm just begging the blessings of all of you, that whatever thought or observation and thing which I want to incorporate in my system, I'm failing myself, I'm struggling. So whole idea is how I can not see, or how I should be able to see, rather the how other sadhak, other God brothers, God sisters, they are doing more appreciable work and things. And that way, with that understanding, each one of us can find something better in the other person than myself. Rather than becoming self-obsessed that I'm the best in everything which I do or I say or I think is best. Certain areas for improvement. It's a process of self-improvement. So if one is really focused for how I can be consumed better, or how I can be utilized better, for the benefit of others, not for just my benefit, because that will be self-centered. So I would like to end with one proverb, Kavya Sandesh. It is said that Paropakara shunyasya dhik manusyasya jivitam. Paropakara shunyasya dhik manusyasya jivitam. Jivantu pashivo yesham charmapi upakarishyati. It's a very simple, that those who don't live for the benefit of others, means hell. Dhik means hell to them, or something like Jivantu pashivo yesham. Better are the animals who live, because their living is made success, because after they are gone, even their skin is used for the benefit of others. Whereas a human being, if they don't act or think or speak in such a way that while they are living, they can be for the benefit of others, because after they are gone, nothing of them is useful. So the whole idea is how we really focus on how we can be of benefit to others. If we don't think like that, then we are worse than animals, because what else to be said? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhuji, we can end. Before ending, I just would like to recollect to myself. So, what are the concluding points or take-home points for today? So, a dialogue, sitting or speaking with the person can resolve the thing. And the other is we should have a common priority of work that the head has to take care, so that we all will be in same line. Thank you, Raji. We can conclude.
Thank you so much. So many questions and so much suggestions. So thank you so much. And Tantraya Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Jai.
Jai Srimad Maharaj Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai Jai Jai.
VI Sankirtan movement ki jai.
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 Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari.
Hari 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 Bol.
His Grace Haripada Prabhu ki jai.
Jai Jai Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. See you all in tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.